Before we start up today, I just want to have a quick word about probably what is obvious to most of you. The late, the great Akira Toriyama. I don't think it's possible for me to briefly sum up the incredibly large impact that Akira Toriyama and Dragonball in all its variations has had on the fitness industry and so many of the lifters out there. I can't even count the number of conversations I've had with people who say that Goku is the reason that they're in the gym. They're trying to get a body like Goku. They're trying to get, they're trying to look like Vegeta. Take your pick. It's countless how many times I've had those sorts of interactions. And the amount of lessons that have been learned by the lifters who found Dragon Ball so alluring, of perseverance, of effort, of finding joy in the process of just pushing yourself and getting stronger. Yeah, there's no way to quantify it. There's no way for me to find any way to calculate that. It's not possible. And that's a testament to the massive impact and influence that he had on the world as a whole through something as simple as a comic, a manga. That's really all it was. But to so many people, it ended up being so much more. Cornerstones of their childhood, major parts of what motivated them to be who and what they are today. That says a lot. And the fact that he's gone is very sad. So make sure you all put a rep in, one extra one, for Akira Toriyama this week. I know I will. And in the spirit of that, I think this week's topic is actually pretty on point. This week, we're to talk about how the fact that you just don't eat enough protein is one of the biggest reasons why your gains are garbage or you're not getting gains at all. It is astronomical how many times I've had the conversation, hey, how come you are having trouble putting on weight or gaining muscle or gaining strength? Are you eating enough protein? The person will say, oh yeah, no, I'm definitely eating enough protein. Oh, okay, well, how much are you eating in a day? And they say, I don't know. Well, why don't you know? Oh, well, I'm not entirely sure. It's not like I weigh everything out. How are you tracking what you're eating then? Oh, I'm not. To an extent, I guess this is kind of related to the fact that a lot of people just aren't tracking their food, but eating enough protein is such a huge essential part of the process of building muscle. It has a lot of functions. I mean, just the fact that it is the major building block for the creation of muscle is huge in and of itself. But there's also the fact that it's going to play such a major role in your satiety. If you're eating enough protein, it's a lot easier for you to feel satisfied, which allows you to not eat garbage as a result of your wild hunger that comes over you in the middle of the night or randomly in the afternoons or whenever you happen to be getting really, really snacky. Eating enough protein is fundamental. Track it to help figure out, if you're going to be getting in enough protein by the end of the day, and try to follow some sort of a plan so that you can get enough protein over the course of the day, but find a way to make it happen. There's a lot of ways to do it. Find a way to make that happen. Tracking is huge. I would say that's probably one of the easiest ways to do it. But if you can find some other way to do it, please do that. Do that. If there's any macronutrient that you can overeat in with basically no consequence, and I'm talking from a clean perspective, it's protein. Easy, hands down. There's a lot of different ways to get it in. Protein supplements. It's pretty on topic. And of course, whole foods. Whole foods are very expensive, obviously. It can get very costly, both in terms of time and money. So supplementation from protein supplements can be a huge help. People often demonize it or vilify it, but the fact of the matter is, protein powder is just like chicken breast or eggs or tuna. It's just another form of food. That's it. That's all it is. There's some artificial sweeteners in there, yeah, but in the quantities that they're in these proteins, it's not going to be a problem. The dosage makes the poison, as Dr. Lane Norton would say. And the dosage in this is not going to make for a poison. So it's not really worth worrying about, to be fair. Also, when it comes to just cost per serving, like a lot of these coming in at like what, $1.30 per serving, and a serving is going to bring you about 24, 25 grams of protein just on average. And when you compare that to a chicken breast, you go to Costco, you do the math, it's a very easy answer when you think about what's going to be more cost effective. So with grocery prices the way they are, it just makes a lot of sense if you're going to be trying to get in what should be. And here's the calculation to know how much is enough protein. 1 gram of protein to 1 pound of body weight. Nice and simple, nice and easy. Some of you are going to be like, well, Keegan, that's too much. Hush, just stop it. You have to stop that, because here's the thing. 1 to 1 is super easy to remember. Means that the person who's trying to get enough protein is not going to forget that. 2, like I said, if you're going to overeat in a macronutrient, protein is easily one of the best, if not the best one to do it in. 3, most people aren't going to reach that. They're going to hit like a 0.8, and that's going to be a wonderful place to hit too. It's still going to be optimal for gains. And 3, if you're in an older population, you need more protein than the average individual does. So 1 to 1 is even closer to what you should be intaking. And that also goes for people in prep, by the way. If you're in prep, you need to probably up your protein intake. And that's gonna make a big difference in terms of how much lean mass you maintain over the course of your cut. So eat enough protein. I don't think I got anything else to say on that. This is a pretty worn out subject in terms of eat your protein. You've heard it before. There's a song on Instagram, Reels, and TikTok that says as much. So this should be preaching to the choir, but more often than not, it doesn't feel like it's that. Anyhow, that's the end. Nothing left to say here. It's in the set. Rock it.
Yes, we'll spend this hour on good old napping. Work hard, study well, and eat and sleep plenty. That's the turtle hermit way to learn.
Hey, Master.
What's up?
So, what if while we're lying in our hammocks, someone else out there is training and getting stronger than us? How do we know?
The truth, Goku, is that we can't know. But I think you'll find that everyone, even the strongest warriors, need their shut-eye.